Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the broadcast. My name is Justus Knight of Restricted Republic, and I can't thank you enough for being here. This isn't my usual broadcast time. I did this much earlier than normal, but for very good reason. Over the last 24 hours, there was an event that occurred that none of mainstream media is talking about. And we're going to talk about it here because I have a very real question for you. By the end of all this information being presented, did AOC just admit to committing treason against the United States of America? I'm going to explain that position in great detail, exactly what happened, and then go into constitutional law briefly and outline exactly what she did was more or less conspiring with a foreign government to interfere in a U.S. election. Before we get there, if you haven't joined us over at Restricted Republic yet, please do. Right now we're offering via coupon code BAND at annual checkout not only 14 days free, but instead of giving us donations, we give you something in return. And what we're doing is giving you your annual subscription for $60. That's $5 a month. I hope you'll go over there, join us for extended information and information that doesn't fit the platform here. But now, I think we need to get on to more of this broadcast, and also if you haven't subscribed to me here on YouTube, please do. Thumbs up if you like the video, and comments are always appreciated. Spread the word because it's hard for us newer YouTubers to grow, but when you bring stuff like this, hopefully this impacts everybody and gets their wheels spinning and inspires real thought instead of the mindless thought that's coming out of both sides of the aisle of the political spectrum right now. What had occurred was during the Trump rally, you'll see here published on The Hill, Trump campaign dismisses report that TikTok users, K-pop fans, sabotaged rally attendance. I'll show you the actual tweet that came from AOC before I back out of this. And it states, let's go full screen so you got a better view of this. Actually, you just got rocked by teens on TikTok who flooded the Trump campaign with fake ticket reservations and tricked you into believing 1 million people wanted your white supremacist open mic enough to pack an arena during COVID. Shout out to Zoomers, y'all make me so proud. Well, that is how that tweet began. And that's where mainstream media went silent. Actually, they weren't silent on the tweet. They promoted it even further. Go AOC. Phenomenal job calling out the president. You guys sure got him. Well, in actuality, you sure got yourself. Because if you just read that tweet for what it is, and we responded on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, please do. It's our way of getting to you the timely updates. We're going to broadcast every second of the day, but rather we keep you informed there, or at least a Haven or Justus Knight. TikTok is a Chinese-owned and operated app. Everybody needs to understand that. That's who owns TikTok. We've warned about this multiple times in the past, but it hasn't resonated or sunk in yet. That is admittedly being used by AOC below in her tweet to disrupt a U.S. election. When you mess with a rally, you are messing with the outcome potentially of a U.S. election. That is interference in an election. This should start to resonate true to many things we've heard throughout the Mueller investigation and how it involved Trump. I believe that's treason, or at very least calls for your immediate dismissal. Being AOC's. We the people demand she be arrested. And the reason we say that is because if you read the articles of law, let's take Article 3. Let's take Article 3, Section 3. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of 2 witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person obtained. But let's go into a further definition they give later in U.S. Code 2381, treason. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States, which would be AOC through her position, owes allegiance to the United States, levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere. See, this is a further definition many people aren't familiar with. She aided, in our opinion, TikTok in interfering by promoting the fact that users here in the US, at least we could assume that, more likely it was a lot of foreign actors also, utilized a foreign platform to interfere. And by promoting that, you are giving them aid and comfort in what they did. That is, by definition, treason. That's why we're asking you, what is your feeling on the matter? I believe this is as serious as it comes. We'll go on and finish the definition here. Is guilty of treason and shall suffer death or shall be in prison not less than 5 years and fined under this title but not less than 10,000 and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States. That is the actual law. Now, by all definitions, we've seen this play out before. This on Breitbart, shattered revelation, Clinton campaign hatched Russian hacking narrative 24 hours after Hillary's loss. You see, she was upset. She was upset that the Russians interfered in the election, causing her loss. That resulted in the Mueller investigation. Shows how Russians sow discord with dirty tricks. President Trump then tried. How is now this any different? It actually is very different, because unlike then, you have a direct quote by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez admitting to the very act, to giving comfort to a foreign adversary, who right now would be our number one adversary with everything that's occurring around us. And this sits out there on an open public platform, and almost not a word against what she said. I'm not one to conspire in all these crazy stories that are out there. Rather, we're going to adhere to what the rule of law states, what the Constitution states, and what I just read you through all these subsections state exactly. That's impossible to get around. So I ask you, what is your feeling? How do you feel about what should be done based on the evidence now shown? And no, before you ask, it is, yes, in some ways sedition and overt conduct such as speech and organization that tends towards insurrection against the established order. I'm not going to disagree with you, but I think it goes beyond sedition. It goes beyond everything that's occurring. If you want to see an example of this, just watch what's happening in the world around us. China unveils new security legislation for Hong Kong. What does that prevent? That prevents acts of sedition. So that is directly in line what's happening. Beijing on Saturday released details of its new national security law for Hong Kong amid China's recent moves to reclaim control over the semi-autonomous city. The move for stricter national security measures has been met with criticism by Western governments such as the US, UK, Canada, Australia, which scrutinized the new actions as an infringement on Hong Kong's one country, two rules system. The new legislation will form a national security office for Hong Kong to gather intelligence and tackle crimes against national security, according to a state-run news outlet. You see what's happening in Hong Kong. We seem to be following very close in step. Now, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to continue over on Restricted Republic. This broadcast I try to keep very confined to that one question. And the one question today is, what do you feel about this tweet? Do you feel this is a treasonous act and punishable under the laws of treason? We're going to continue on over at Restricted as to the moves the UN are making and exactly who they backed. And I'm going to show you very quickly here, just for 1 second, what we're going to cover, because it is extremely critical you understand what the UN just did. Critical you understand. So for the moment, we're going to take a brief pause. I'm going to leave you here. I hope you'll extend over to Restricted Republic. Take advantage of the 14 free days. Use coupon code BAND at annual checkout. For just $5 a month, a $60 charge. That's your way of supporting everything we do to bring you the real news that nobody else wants you to know. Now, I look forward to your replies. I look forward to how you feel about what AOC just did. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.